So, I need to talk to y'all. This is some pretty serious stuff going on right now. But you know what? I'm gonna move the camera a little bit on while recording, just cause maybe I should probably try to look into the camera instead of looking at the game, because we got some big things we gotta talk about. So, shit. Anyway, road to Endgame, right? This is one of the things I want to talk about. I haven't dropped a video in a long time, even though I said I was going to, the past, couple weeks. It's already been like 3 weeks. I don't even remember. This is probably one of the bad things about me as far as content creation goes. I do have a bit of a reasoning for that, for the first week or so, but after that was just, I don't know, maybe surprising y'all with something else. But basically what happened was, almost a week after I uploaded that video, I was gonna get footage ready and recorded to upload the next one soon after. But the so-called new PC that I was working on, or that I was recording the videos on, decided that it just didn't want to boot anymore. And yeah, so much for a fucking new one, right? So I tried to see if I can get it working. Nothing works. So worst case scenario is I'm probably gonna have to take it up to a store and get it checked out or something, which I still haven't even done that because it hasn't really been on top of the priority list. So that footage no longer exists, which is a bit tough, but again, as I always say, it is what it is. And because of that, I haven't really been recording any of the hard boss runs or the hard boss drops or whatever. But it's really just been some of the usual things, like in Arcane. We've got 2 Arcane essences. We got a whole young fan. Those are probably the most notable drops, to be honest. That's basically all that really matters. And that's basically that. Another thing is, I was in the middle of grinding my bishop a lot. I wanted to go for 235 by Monday, maybe Tuesday. And I was just gonna drop in. I'm like, hey, sorry guys, I was just on the ground of the bishop. I had to focus, balancing work in that. I'm not trying to do many other things at the moment, but at the same time, I could have kept you guys posted on that. So again, it's a shame. I did plan on getting 233 on the bishop today, but it looks like fate has come with other plans, which I'll talk about later and whatnot. And that was gonna be like episode 10, maybe talk about all the things I bought, which I'll get to that in a minute, as well as the pre-haste grind to 235 on the bishop. Well, I'll be able to get this character 255 during the haste event, which once again will drop on Wednesday. So I'll talk about what's happened since the episode ended. As far as Dark Knight goes, secondary. You got the secondary. You got it right here. The secondary, I was just completely eyeing down. I was able to get it shortly after the production of that video. And it was all thanks to Sheng from Discord, notable speaker from KMS English. He gave me a 2.5 bill loan for the secondary, and I paid him back after a week. So I was really happy to have gotten it. It helped out quite a bit. And my old secondary sold not too long after for about 6 bill, which I'm not exactly proud of. So I used that and a little bit of leftover money to get this. 6.2 bill Absolab shoulder. My old shoulder I sold it off for 1.1 bill, but this shoulder is much better. It's got a really good main pot, a really good bonus pot. Well, it's a good bonus pot, but not really good, but it's still not bad. Terrible scrolling, so the scrolling does need to be fixed sometime in the future. With like Arcanos and ICOG, some event shops and whatnot, whatever, what happens this winter. We had another set of Master Label come out. So I've spent about 2 bill on that for the total, in total of the weapon, the overall, and the cape. So in total, I've spent about 22 bill ever since the last episode. Absolutely insane amount of money. But that's basically how that goes. That's a little, just a bit of a catch up. Bishop's level 232, almost 233. Dark Knight got the new secondary, as well as getting a new and improved Absolab shoulder, as well as getting the next Master Label set, because I absolutely love it. It looks beautiful. Spending the 2 bill did nothing to my damage. Legit, it's still like the same pretty much. I just got it for the sake of cosmetics. I mean, look at this weapon. Perfect fit for a Dark Knight, dude. It's amazing. But now, it's time to get to the real meat of this video. NAVER accounts. NAVER accounts, NAVER and MapleStory are being discontinued. And let me get to that. Here's a notice from Nexon or MapleStory's website talking about the termination of NAVER channeling service. So what it's telling us is on November 30th, players who are playing through NAVER will no longer be able to access their accounts through NAVER. Because of this, starting tomorrow from the time of this post, aka effective now, NAVER accounts can no longer be created for MapleStory, for KMS. So what this means is I'm deleting my account guide video while it being dated, you know, by about, I uploaded it 2 years ago, and I'm sure quite a bit has changed since the registration. Regardless, by the time this video is on YouTube, you are watching this right now, my NAVER account creation video no longer exists. It's completely gone because it's rendered worthless. It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, you can still make a NAVER account. I'm sure I could still keep it up for that, but there are still better guides to make a NAVER account, which does access to other games, you know. But it just won't have access to MapleStory anymore. You will no longer be able to make Maple IDs with NAVER accounts. So if you were interested in playing KMS through NAVER account, not the best thing to do anymore. Because of that, I will also be terminating that account creation video. So basically what it's telling us right now is, from here it says on November 16th they're going to add in more information about how we transfer our NAVER accounts to Nexon IDs, because that's what they want to do. They want us to transfer our NAVER IDs to Nexon IDs with the same exact email or username or whatever the hell it is, that they, you know, they want to be sure it's the exact same person that's doing this, and with that all the data will be transferred to that Nexon ID and nothing will be erased from the NAVER account. The main issue with Nexon IDs is that they require IPIN. IPIN is something that is Korean exclusive. You need to be in Korea for this thing. If you're not in Korea, you gotta have some sort of whatever Korean credentials that you need, and obviously I'm not Korean, which means I will never be able to have an Nexon ID of my own unless I move to Korea. No, unless I get married to someone in Korea. That's not happening either. So chances are, if they don't have any perfect transfer method for foreigner users, I'm completely screwed, and this account will no longer exist anymore. But basically what it's telling us is right here, right now, we can still access our accounts until November 30th. That leaves me a month to do what I want to do. And after that, our data from the NAVER account will still exist for 1 year. It's still going to exist for a year. And I believe, where is it, 2021? Here we go. November 30th, 2021. If we don't have our data transferred to a Nexon account by this date, everything will be terminated. It's like creating a character in Burning World and transferring it to a different world in Maple that you want. If you don't transfer within that time period, you know, the burning characters get deleted, right? This is the exact same thing with this whole NAVER thing. If the NAVER account isn't transferred to a Nexon account by November 30th, it's gonna get terminated. And once again, it is currently impossible for me to make a Nexon account unless they bring in some more method. What the fuck am I saying? Bring in some methods that are more available for foreigner players, and that's how that's gonna work out. So really, all of us are ready to say goodbye, because this isn't really something that is usually available for foreigners. A bunch of the KMS English community right now is just about ready to say goodbye. There are people who have already quit There are people who are waiting until more information comes out on November 16th. But from the looks of it, it seems like we can't even transfer to a Nexon ID until November 16th anyway. So we're basically just kind of stuck in limbo for now until that date comes. So maybe y'all got some questions for me. And I got some questions in mind, and I'm about to answer some right now. Do keep in mind though, the reason why this is being discontinued is Korean exclusive. It's always been a known fact for so long that they haven't really given a damn about foreigners, and that's just the cold hard truth. I've been playing KMS for 10 years, and I've been through so much crap that basically requires you to be Korean for it, and I question why I still play. I mean, for the fun of it, I guess, and wait till you hear this, it's about to be crazy here in a minute. But, you know, answering these questions, NAVER is just a terrible account compared to an Exxon account. There are so many more restrictions a NAVER account has from an Exxon account that, you know, Korean players don't really find them to be viable at all. Sometimes they even find NAVER accounts to be laughable, starting with their low charge limit to some other things that I can't really talk about because I'm not really too sure, but it's mainly the low charge limit. They had more restrictions in the past, like not having access to MapleStory M, or not having access to KMST, but those were fixed later on, so that's not like that even matters anymore, but it is what it is. So anyway, here's what's gonna go down, right? Here's going to be my game plan, which will regard the questions that someone might have. And if there are any more, you can leave them down in the comments, and I'll try to get back to y'all. So, I'm going to be continuing to play this game, right? I'm going to be making some Meso. I'm going to get as much Meso as I possibly can during this next month. So, from now to November 16th, I have 7 weekly boss meals, and I plan on doing those weekly boss meals every week, obviously. And then for grinding, you know, I've got 4 pieces of Meso gear, and I got a vac pet, so I'm going to buy out like wealth potions and union coupons, and I'm going to at least grind on my Dark Knight for about 10 hours a week. I don't really care much about EXP. I mean, I can just open up Monster Park boxes for him. I'm pretty sure I do have a good chunk, 55. It doesn't even matter. But I will be grinding about 10 hours a week. I wanted to go hard for the haste to fit and grind a lot more than that, but I honestly don't think it's safe to, so I'm going to just play it a little bit safer. And the reason why I am limiting myself to 10 hours is because that's the amount of time we have per week to grind on Union Meso coupons. And on those, I do make about 75 mil an hour. So 10 hours is about 750 mil, as well as probably 50 core gemstones. So we can kind of rack up some more Meso and some more core gemstones, and that's going to be really, really beneficial for what's going to happen later on. So let's say November 16th comes around. I've got 2 options. Two options that will... One of them is going to happen depending on the information we get on that date. So if foreigners are saved, I will continue to play, or NAVER accounts can be transferred to Nexon ID just fine. I will continue to play KMS. Just, you know, on this account as I please. You know, nothing's going to change, nothing will happen. Everything will just be good and handy. I'll level my bishop to 235, and they're going to pretend like the scare didn't even happen, I hope. In the event that the NAVER account is not recoverable, I have made some, I've tried to think about a lot of things here and there, and I even considered playing GMS, but I figured that thought was probably short-lived, and what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to restart on another account provided by a Korean friend of mine. It's got green PC, one-time password and stuff, everything. It's pretty much all hooked up. He's got the hookup if, you know, it gets protected or anything like that, if something goes down. I just gotta talk to him for just whatever needs to happen with the account. So basically, if I restart on a different account, I'll be in good hands. Though I've said this in the past, again, you don't really know what's going to happen with KMS, but at this point, I don't even care how far I get. I just play this game for the sake of entertainment. So here we have it. This is the brand new account. And the IGN couldn't be any more than what you might expect from me. Which also means, yes, I'm gonna main the Dark Knight again. I love this class. And also because I have one-time password set up, I could just get in the game without entering a pick. So, also, you know, a buddy gave me a couple random things. Nothing of, like, crazy value. Just, some MVP coupons whenever I decided maybe get this character to, like, level 100 for events. And really just some random items that don't really have much of value at all. Which is, this is a branch nose, guys. This isn't a real control mark. But anyway, going through it, you know, it's got green PC and stuff. Noticing this lock here, pretty cool. Anyway, as I was saying, this will be the account that I'm going to transfer all of my transferable gear to. Everything that I can transfer. I'll have a good weapon, a good secondary, a bunch of good armor. I won't have an emblem, which sucks because I rolled 3-line on my old emblem, and I really want to keep that 3-line. So that sucks. But it is what it is. And one last thing that I'm gonna say to you guys. I know this might hurt for some of y'all, but if this transfer does end up happening, I will no longer be a free-to-play player because I find some things I might want to buy as soon as possible. And such things include a vac pet, because I'm going to be grinding this character a lot, especially with how strong I'll be with the gear. I definitely want to get a vac pet to make sure that, you know, I'll make a lot of money while I grind. I'm going to buy 2 more pieces of Maso gear. I'm at 80% of the Dark Knight, but one of the pieces is an event ring, so that's untradeable, so I'll be going down to 60, which means I'm going to buy 2 rings, and basically with those 2 rings, I'll be at 100%, and then after that, that'll probably be it. What I'm trying to do right now on the current account is I'm trying to save up money for a new spear. My old spear could sell for a good chunk because of the flame I wrote on it, which is, you know, thank God for that. And some spears have some pretty stupid deals. I'm not gonna show the one right now, but if I manage to get it, then and tell y'all the price of it, it's fucking mind-blowing. But I honestly doubt if I'll be able to pull it off, but I do want to save up for that new spear. And while I grind on the main account and I get cores, obviously I won't sell them because I'm gonna need them a lot. Then I'll just end up using the cores that this character gets while it grinds because it's gonna need to as well. And that's just the way things are. But yeah, as far as being a non-free-to-play player goes, it's mainly just for the sake of getting another vac pet and the 2 pieces of Maso gear, which in total will probably cost me about 15 bill. I think the cheapest I can get everything will be somewhere around $450 to $500, and that's pretty much as I'm going to be spending. Now, yeah, who cares? I'm not going to be free to play anymore, so whoop-de-doo, so be it. I'm going to just, you know, maybe I'm looking at spending about $500 on this account. And why I would do this while I'm restarting once again is because I'm just genuinely a crazy man, and that's just the way things go. And that's that. Anyway, y'all know the plan, y'all know the hustle. I'm gonna get this guy to level 101 for the sake of events and stuff like that. But that's pretty much as far as it goes until I get some confirmation on the 16th. If confirmation of this account being my main account on the 16th happens, I'll go over the procedure of what I'm going to do then. But for now, we're just going to chill out on it and just stay cool with everything, you know? Like, I love this game. I wasn't ready to quit, so I don't want to quit. I legitimately saw myself maybe moving to GMS, but because this opportunity has come to me once more, I decided I'm going to play KMS again. No matter how many times I get beat up and pushed around and my characters just get fucked and I'll never go to Lehman, KMS it's still my home, and it's the one Maple Story server, you know, I've truly felt like I've, you know, become one with for the past 9 to 10 years, you know. Been an old time player in this thing, so I fucking hate myself.